I told everybody about 3 months ago that a Christian school I attended in the southern suburbs of Chicago, Ileana Christian High School in Lansing, Illinois, was the first school to garner national media attention for an incident of school violence. Now, why the national media properly reported that a teacher was almost unalived in this incident, very few outlets reported the bigger story. The student who committed this act of violence, Blake Doctor, had a plan to unalive students as well as the teacher at Ileana Christian High School. And then after he was finished with students he thought wronged him at Ileana Christian, he was going to go to other area high schools and unalive other students. The first student on that list at another high school was me. I had left Ileana Christian and I was attending Thornwood High School, which was in the neighboring suburb of South Holland. Now, the reason that Blake Doctor wanted to unalive the teacher named Mr. Hogewerf is because Mr. Hogewerf was the coach of the boys soccer team at Ileana Christian, and he had kicked Blake Doctor off the team and given him a 3-day suspension for smoking. Mr. Hogewerf used to tell students that the punishment he was going to give them for smoking wasn't as bad as the punishment of lung cancer in the future. Blake Doctor did not see it that way, and he wanted to take revenge on Mr. Hogewerf. So the day after Blake Doctor got suspended, he went into his father's bedroom when his father was at work and got an unsecured .22 caliber handgun. And then evidently Blake had shotguns that he put in the trunk of his car. And Blake went to Ileana Christian early in the morning to tell one of his friends on the soccer team what he planned to do. Well, this other boy on the Ileana soccer team snitched on Blake. He first went to Mr. Hogewerf to tell him that Blake was going to come to the school later and try to unalive him, but Mr. Hogewerf was a Vietnam vet, so he set a plan into action. He told the student to take all the kids who were on Blake's list, bring them into the gym, take out the bleachers, and have them hide under the bleachers. Then he taught his class by the door without telling the students what was going on, and he waited for Blake to come down the hall. And when Blake came down the hall, Mr. Hogewerf went out into the hall, and Blake did fire at him, but Mr. Hogewerf, being a Vietnam vet, turned quickly, and the bullet went into the part of his arm where there was a lot of muscle, so it did limited damage. And then he stopped Blake Doctor from hurting anybody else. Now, another student at Ileana got me to safety by calling the McDonald's I worked at after school. And so my manager at that McDonald's, Donna, took me to one of my friend's house on the north side of Chicago in case Blake was successful with his rampage around the south suburbs. Unfortunately, he wasn't, because Mr. Hogewerf prepared to put himself in harm's way to stop Blake from carrying out his plan with students. And I'm telling this story because as someone who's Gen X, I understand what Gen Z is going through with these sort of incidents now out of control in the United States.